Imagine waking up tomorrow, knowing this will be your last real sunrise for months.
Our new home wasn't across the city. It was 500 meters beneath it.
500 meters below the surface, another world was already alive. And more than 1 million people already called it home. No skyline, no horizon, no ordinary sunrise. Yet somehow, there were forests, farms, rivers, neighborhoods, even something that looked almost like daylight. Could humans really spend their entire lives underground? We were about to spend 1 full year discovering whether this extraordinary world beneath our feet could truly feel like home. We packed only what we needed. Everything else would remain above us. The drive to the underground terminal took less than 30 minutes. The entrance looked less like a bunker and more like an airport turned upside down. Before descending, every passenger passed through one final check. Below the surface, there would be no easy way back. Then the doors closed, and the world above us began moving away. But the deeper we went, the earth stopped looking passive. And then the darkness filled with movement. Then the doors opened, and we finally saw the world we had come here to live in. Our first view lasted only a few seconds, but it was enough to make us forget how far underground we were. There were streets without weather, buildings without foundations on soil, and millions of people going about completely or people still wanted what humans had always wanted. A neighborhood, a balcony, a place to call home. The city had its own skyline, even though the real sky was impossibly far above us.
And transportation wasn't a problem. Underground, every neighborhood was already connected.
The engineers understood something important. People could survive without nature, but they might never feel at home. Even water had been brought into the depths, not only to sustain the city, but to make it feel alive. There was no sense of emergency here. No one behaved like they were hiding. But every beautiful view came with one unavoidable fact. This wasn't a shelter beneath the earth. It was an entire civilization, hidden beneath the world we knew. The city didn't begin with buildings. It began with millions of geological measurements. Then came the hardest part, removing an entire mountain from the inside. Nothing could simply be thrown away. The rock itself would become part of the city. Every meter of rock had to answer one question: could it safely hold a city? The city would never be allowed to forget what surrounded it. Layer by layer, the raw earth became an engineered environment. Water was just as important as rock. Underground, it could sustain the city or threaten it. The first structures weren't apartments or offices. They were the bones that would hold everything else. Only after the earth was secured could we begin building homes. It took decades of drilling, engineering, and patience. and slowly, the impossible cavern became...
After everything we had seen, the strangest part was how ordinary our new neighborhood looked. The architects had learned that concrete alone could make people. For the first time, we opened the door to a home that had no view of the outside world. Inside, almost everything felt familiar. But the window showed us the one thing we had lost. So the city created its own version of something we had always taken for granted. The lights followed the rhythm of the sun above us, even though we could no longer see it. The children loved it. But I couldn't stop thinking about what the city couldn't recreate. That night, beneath hundreds of meters of rock, we went to sleep wondering whether a place without a real sky could ever truly become home. Every morning, the real sun still rose above us. We simply learned how to catch some of it before it disappeared below the horizon. The light traveled downward through shafts engineered to carry daylight into the depths. At every level, the system had to control heat, intensity, and direction. The goal wasn't to recreate a perfect sky. It was simply to give the city something real. And the difference wasn't only psychological. Plants responded to real sunlight in ways technology still struggled to perfect. Where the real sunlight couldn't reach, artificial systems completed the cycle. When the real sun disappeared above us, our artificial sun took over. We hadn't brought the sun underground. We had learned how to borrow its rhythm. The next morning, we discovered something we hadn't expected to find 500 meters underground. It wasn't a park with a few trees. It was an ecosystem designed to make millions of people feel connected to something alive. Even the smallest creatures had a job. Water became more than a resource. It became part of the city's rhythm. Even the sound of falling water had been deliberately preserved. On weekends, people came here for the same reason people had always gone into forests. For them, this wasn't an artificial forest. But beneath the beauty was an enormous amount of science.
500 meters beneath the surface, we had built a forest. But the next question was harder. Could we feed an entire...
A city of millions needed more than parks. It needed food. There were no traditional fields here. Plants didn't need soil. They needed light, water, nutrients, and careful control. Even some crops that once needed open fields could be adapted to life underground. Every plant was monitored individually. Some farms produced two things at once: fish and vegetables. And in the darkest parts of the city, another kind of food thrived. Not every food needed a field, a tree, or even an animal. From farm to kitchen, the journey could take minutes instead of days.
That night, we realized something extraordinary. Almost everything on our table had been grown beneath the same earth that surrounded us.
A city underground had one resource it could never afford to waste: water.
Every drop had to be cleaned, measured, and used again. The water leaving our shower wasn't really leaving the city.
It was cleaned, tested, and sent back into circulation. The same water could move from a shower to a farm and eventually back to a kitchen.
But water wasn't the only thing the city had to recycle. Fresh air still came from the world above us. Every breath in the city was part of a carefully monitored system. Even our waste had a destination. Underground, there was no invisible away. Everything we used eventually became part of the system again.
At first, waking underground felt strange. But after a few days, our mornings became almost ordinary.
There were no traffic jams on our street, no rain, no heat.
Their school felt more like a garden than a bunker.
My commute took 11 minutes. By midday, I could almost forget where we were.
By lunchtime, the underground market was as busy as any street market above ground.
In the evening, we walked beside a lake that had never existed on any map. The city became beautiful at night. Our lives had become normal again, but one thing still remained impossible to replace: the real sky. But after months underground, something began to change. The city was safe. Some people began missing things they couldn't describe. The city had psychologists, gardens, and simulated sunlight. But none of them could completely replace open space. So the city began building places where people could simply escape.
For some, the answer was simple: build wilderness underground.
The city understood that children needed to learn what nature felt like, not just what it looked like.
And eventually, the city made one decision that changed everything.
They called it Surface Day. For the children, it was the first time they understood the difference.
We had built an extraordinary world beneath the earth, but lying there beneath the real sky,
Returning underground felt different after we had remembered what the surface felt like. The descent suddenly felt longer. Before Surface Day, they had never thought about the sky. Yet the city below still welcomed us exactly as it had before. But those tiny pieces of nature, suddenly felt more valuable than anything we had packed. The question was no longer whether we could live underground.
We must address the ventilation limits. The geothermals are stable. The real challenge was deciding how much of humanity should live beneath the Earth and how much should remain above it.
Perhaps the future wouldn't be above or below.
Maybe the future isn't about choosing between technology and nature. Maybe it's about learning where each one belongs. For the children born here, underground was never a shelter.
To them, the surface was almost a different world.
The first thing she noticed wasn't the view.
It was the wind. And suddenly, the people who lived beneath the earth wanted to protect what remained above it. The surface slowly became wilder again.
Technology was no longer being used to replace nature. It was being used to understand them. For the first time, living underground didn't mean leaving the earth behind. We didn't escape the earth. We finally learned how to share it. By 2100, the greatest cities were becoming harder to see from above. The new rule was simple. If the surface didn't need us, we stayed below it. We stopped forcing the earth to fit our buildings. When people stopped needing roads everywhere, the earth finally gained some space back. Some of the land we had covered in concrete was finally given back.
For the next generation, nature wasn't somewhere they had to drive to.
We didn't abandon the surface. We simply stopped demanding that every square kilometer feed us. Chose to live above. Others chose to live below. For thousands of years, humanity spread across the earth. Years later, we returned to the same forest. The tree they had planted as children was now taller than all of us. The earth above us was no longer something we had to escape from. And beneath it, another world continued to breathe. Below the earth, millions of people had built ordinary lives. Every generation inherited the same responsibility: